Hey guys, welcome back. All right, so yesterday we read the story about the ant and the grasshopper. So this morning we are going to read a different version of the same story, okay? The ant and the grasshopper, narrated by the fanciful but truthful grasshopper, okay? Miss Gala wants you to think about while you're reading the story, think about what's happening in the story. Think about the character traits grasshopper and ants behaving like. Are they nice? Are they mean? Okay. Are they helpful? Are they caring? Okay. Just be thinking about what happened in this story so that you can compare it to the other story. Okay. So, hey guys, welcome back. So, yesterday we read the story of the ant and the grasshopper, okay? Today we are going to read a different version of the ant and the grasshopper, okay? But this story is narrated or told by the fanciful but truthful, very truthful grasshopper. Okay? In autumn, the ants were very busy drying out the grain they had gathered in the summer. A hungry grasshopper came to them and asked for something to eat. "Didn't you store any food for the winter?" the ants asked. "What have you been doing all summer?" The grasshopper held out a fiddle and said, "Well, I've been making music, and before I knew it, summer was over." The ants shooed the grasshopper away. "Get away, get away. They didn't offer any food. You made your choice," they said. "Now live with it." The moral of the story is there's a time for work and a time for play. "Oh, hello. I am happy to meet you. My name is Harper. I'm the grasshopper in the fable that you just read. But I want you to know that I'm not lazy. Did I make some mistakes? Well, yes, I did. But the fable leaves off just when the real story begins. The rest of the story, all the right notes." Summer was especially delightful. I loved everything about it. The rosy sunrises, the fresh grass, blooming flowers, the gentle breezes. I felt so happy. I just had to play my fiddle. I had to sing. I played my fiddle on the rainy days too. That's when we need music the most, said Grasshopper. The animals and the insects in the meadow enjoyed my music every day very, very much. Not the ants though. They barely looked up when I sang for them. How rude! As they busily dug tunnels and gathered seeds here and there, they seemed to be marching to the beat of work, 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 work. I became so carried away with my music that I didn't even notice the earlier sunsets or the fading flowers. The wind turned chilly, leaves dropping from the trees. Then one day, my stomach rumbled quite loudly. It said, "Gurgle, gurgle, 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 gurgle." Oh my gosh, my tummy. I looked around for a tender plant or a seed, but I found nothing. Not one. So, how can we describe Mr. Grasshopper? Is he busy too? Not as busy as the ants. The ants are working. Excuse me, I asked. Could you spare a sunflower seed for a poor, old, hungry musician? I asked the ants. No, we could not, one of them snapped. We worked hard all summer for our food, another said. What did you do? Sadly, I turned away. Why hadn't I prepared for winter? Why had I not been thinking? I couldn't live without food. Soon the snow would fall and that would be the end of me. Oh, said Grasshopper. Is he being dramatic? The day came when I was too weak to play my fiddle. I thought I was dreaming when I heard a voice say, "Here, eat this." But then a kernel of wheat appeared before me. I bit into it. This was no dream. This was real. I took a few more bites and looked around to see who had done this kindness. "Hello," said a little ant shyly. "My name is Lark. I really like your music." "Thank you," I said hungrily, finishing off the kernel. Right away, Lark gave me another note. Oh. "Why, thank you," I said. I hungrily finished off the kernel. Right away, Lark gave me another note. "You saved my life," I told her. "How can I ever repay you?" Lark looked down at her feet. She spoke softly. "Well, I was hoping maybe you could teach me how to play the fiddle." "Really?" I asked in surprise. "But you're an ant. I thought ants didn't like music. At least that's what the other ants were saying." "This one does," Lark said. "Please teach me, will you? Please. I'll pay you in food," he said. Of course," I said. I was feeling stronger already. It would be my pleasure. How is this little ant different from the other ants? How is the little ant different from the other ants? Good job. He's a lot nicer, right? Okay, how do you know that this ant is nicer? What did he do? How can you tell that he's nice? Good job. He shared his food, okay? What food did he share? Do you remember? Sunflower seeds. Good job. Kiss those brains, you smarty pants. Lark and I made a tiny new fiddle out of milkweed, silk, and a hollowed out apple seed. We created a bow out of a strip of reed. Then we got started with our lessons. Lark was a fast learner. In no time at all, we were playing beautiful songs together. Using your inferencing skills, What can you tell about these two? Good job. They are friends. Okay, are they the same or are they different? How are they different? Good. One is a grasshopper, one is an ant, okay? The grasshopper, we can describe him as tall, right? And the ant is short. One day during practice, I noticed a couple of ants watching us. They were waving their feelers in time to the music. Then I saw ladybugs sway back and forth and all sorts of other flying insects doing loops and spins in the air. Based on how the insects are acting, do you think they like Grasshopper's music? Yes or no? I would say yes too, because they're responding, okay? So it's almost like they're dancing, but in a way that bugs can dance. You know, they don't have the things that we have to move around. That's when I got an idea. I whispered it to Lark, and she nodded. Friends, I called out, would you like to become musicians too? I would, shouted Ladybug. Me too, called an ant. We're in, said a couple of dragonflies. All right then, I said, let's make our very own orchestra. Do you know what an orchestra is? An orchestra is kind of like a band where there's a lot of different instruments and music together, okay? So they all have different parts, but they join it together and it just makes a beautiful harmony, a beautiful song together. We got to work making our instruments. I gave lessons day and night. Everyone paid me with food. Soon I had more seeds than I knew what to do with. Next, we practiced as a group. At first, we sounded more like out-of-tune crickets than a real orchestra, but we got better. Okay, so they all made their own instruments. Who was teaching the insects how to play their instruments? Who was the teacher? Good job. The grasshopper was the teacher. In fact, we got so good that we put on the first ever Harvest Festival concert. It was a smashing success. So, is there a time for work and a time for play? Sure, but remember, make time for music and sharing too. All right, so I want you to look down below to find the activity that you are going to do based on the story that we read today. I hope you guys enjoyed this story. And go ahead and press stop on the video, okay? You can go down below that activity, okay? And then you guys can transition from there to your next rotation. Not forget that you have a break from 9:15 to 9:45, okay? All right.